Hello guys, hope you guys are doing alright today. Welcome back to Let's Supreme Ghost Thief. Today we're going to do a mission that I know a lot of you have said that you're looking forward to. It's a night in Rocksbourg, or une nuit à Rocksbourg. I think that's how it's pronounced. I took French for a couple of years in high school, but I've since then lost most of it. Unfortunately, it's a beautiful language. This is mission 1 in a 3-mission campaign as of now, and it's called A New Beginning. It's a mission by a French author that you're probably familiar with, DRK or Dr. K, and I know that he has a new mission in the Rocksbourg series, actually Rocksbourg Origins, which is, as far as I know, a 2-mission release. He's going to release the first mission in a couple of months probably, or at least in the first half of 2015, I believe. So I wanted to play this campaign and hopefully finish it by the time that release comes around. So I hope you're looking forward to this. I am, certainly. It's a very good mission, one of my favorites. Let's just go ahead and delve right into this. We're playing on new game, and we're playing on the highest difficulty because I play Supreme Ghost. And that's Shadow.
Karas est mort. Aveuglé par son fanatisme, il en avait oublié qu'il n'était resté qu'un simple être humain. L'élu du Créateur défait par un simple voleur. Comme c'est pathétique. Peu de temps après, les autorités découvrirent ces noirs desseins, et ceci allait engendrer la perte de l'ordre mécaniste. Me voilà proclamé sauveur de la ville. Tu parles d'un sauveur? Il s'avère que le plan de Victoria ne fut pas aussi parfait. Elle le paya de sa vie. Malheureusement, elle ne fut pas la seule. Certains domestiques se retrouvèrent enfermés dans les manoirs. D'autres même ne répondirent pas à l'appel des balises. Défaut technique, assurément. Mais les conséquences en furent dramatiques. Avec la perte de certains membres de la haute société, la ville fut rapidement plongée dans le chaos. Complot, conspiration, pillage, meurtre. Et il ne fallait pas compter sur la milice, déchirée entre les partisans de Truart et ceux qui avaient épousé la cause de Mosley. Et que dire des marteleurs qui en profitèrent pour faire un retour en force? Non, décidément, il ne faisait pas bon vivre pour un voleur. Et sur le conseil des gardiens, je décidai de quitter la ville, histoire de laisser de l'eau couler sous les ponts. Pour la ville de Rocksbourg, une sorte d'ancienne cité-forteresse réputée imprenable. À part les légendes locales, une ville qui semblait sans histoire et oubliée de tous, cela me semblait l'endroit propice pour se faire oublier. Je trouvai refuge chez Garibald, un contact des gardiens. Il m'assura qu'ils étaient 3 dans la ville, mais qu'ils ne connaissaient pas les 2 autres. Connaissant les gardiens, ils sauront se montrer en temps et en heure. Forteresse, cette ville est à la hauteur de sa réputation. Cela fait 2 semaines que je suis arrivé, et je n'ai pas pu rentrer dans le cœur de la ville, protégée par d'immenses remparts. C'est dans ce cœur que se trouvent toutes les richesses de la ville. Jusqu'ici, je me suis cantonné à faire quelques rapts par-ci par-là dans la périphérie. Tout juste de quoi payer le loyer. Néanmoins, qui sait écouter la rue peut apprendre des choses intrigantes. En effet, l'ordre mécaniste ici n'a pas disparu. Enfin, ordre mécaniste. Ils se font appeler les enfants du Créateur. Ils se disent plus modérés que Karas. Peu de temps avant la mort de Karas, et voyant la fin venir, un de ses proches collaborateurs décidait de le fuir et vint se réfugier auprès de Dreyfus, l'homme responsable de l'ordre mécaniste à Rocksbourg. C'est alors qu'ils décidèrent de créer un ordre parallèle aux mécanistes. Je n'ai pratiquement pu trouver aucune information sur Dreyfus. En revanche, je sais qu'il a fui Karas pour rejoindre la ville de Rocksbourg. Son nom est Fegen, et il me semble l'avoir déjà rencontré dans l'église mécaniste lorsque j'écoutais la conversation entre Karas et Truart. L'ordre mécaniste dirigé par un sous-fifre, comme ils sont tombés bien bas.
Ami Fegen, je vous en prie, veuillez bien balayer ces restes.
Un soir, j'ai reçu un message des gardiens qui me demandaient de rentrer expressément à la vieille cité. Une occasion en or, j'ai entendu parler de la cathédrale du Créateur, une sorte de complexe religieux, dernier bastion des marteleurs. Ils ont tenu tête aux mécanistes, mais leur ordre s'est essoufflé et il manque d'hommes et de moyens. C'est le moment idéal pour leur rendre visite et repartir incognito. Tout ce que j'ai à faire, c'est de trouver un moyen d'entrer dans le cœur de la ville. Après, je n'aurai plus qu'à trouver le chemin vers la cathédrale. Les pauvres, ils doivent crouler sous les richesses. Mais une âme charitable voudra bien les soulager. Un mauvais rêve. Ça faisait longtemps. La nuit est tombée. Il est temps de reprendre du service. Gareth est de retour.
Alright, so there we are. A lengthy briefing, but a very good one. Very well made. It just shows off the atmosphere that this mission really takes on. This dark, sort of gritty look to it, which is really what the theme is for the overall for the overall Rocksbourg series, which is great. So, here are our objectives. This is your last night in the city of Rocksbourg. Before you leave, you should pay a visit to the Hammerites. Make your way past the Rocksbourg city walls and get to the Builder's Cathedral. You heard talk of the Beta Profundis project, launched by the new Mechanist Order in Rocksbourg. Rumor has it they have extracted a new type of metal ore. Find a sample of this Mechanist ore, it could fetch a good price. Word has it that Lord Namez owns a statuette from a very sought-after sculptor. Steal it. You should be able to sell it on to a collector. It's time for a comeback. To start with, steal at least 2,000. There are rumors about a series of murders in this quarter. One murderer is already too many. Do not kill anybody. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started here. Okay, let's take a look at the map. A map, you say? Well, I know that the original release of this mission didn't include a map, but I found a map that maybe at one time was supposed to be released with the mission by, I can't remember his name, Dark Lord or something. I will definitely credit him properly in the video description. I apologize for that. He had a map that just showed the outline of the actual city, and I've gone ahead and added the writing and the labels and the compass, just because this mission really needs a map. It's a very complicated map or mission to move around. And getting sort of a feel of where you are is very important, I feel, in any mission, but in this one in particular. So let's take a little look at this. We start over here. Number 2 is Garrett's hideout. And the mission is sort of broken in half vertically down the middle. Or if you imagine an imaginary line right here. The northern parts, which north is up on the left-hand side here, we can get to right off the bat. But getting into the south and the southwestern part of the map is pretty difficult. So I'm going to talk about that once we get close to it. So we're going to do most of the stuff we need to do in the north first and then head south. Namez's quarters is over here, where we have to go and finish a couple of objectives. It's difficult to get in there though. The doors are open, but there are individuals right on the inside, so we're going to have to find a different way in. And then we are going to leave by exiting through a cellar down in the far western part of the map. So we have a few things around here. I'm not going to go through all of them, but I will refer to them as I continue through the mission. I always do that to make sure that you guys know where we are. I have a pretty good layout of the map in my head already because I've played it a few times recently to prepare for this recording, but it's important that you guys know where we are, so I will use this map from time to time. This mission is possible to Ghost. It's even possible to Perfect Thief, which I have never been able to do up until a couple of days ago, actually, when I managed to, which I'm happy about, and I'm happy to show you this here today, hopefully. It's not possible to Supreme, though. We have to take quite a few busts to that mode, but we won't have to take a bust up until pretty close to the end of the mission. Once we head into Namez's quarters, we'll have to take some busts. And there are some loot items that we have to skip for that mode, so we will not be able to take all the loot for that run through. However, I will go ahead and Supreme the mission, but then I will reload to a previous save and show you how to Perfect Thief the mission. So I will Perfect Thief the mission as well as Supreme Ghosted today. Just because that is very difficult, I wanted to show everyone. So there's going to be a point where I will finish the mission and then I will go ahead and finish the rest of the mission for Perfect Thief afterwards. So there will be sort of two endings to the mission here. Okay, let's go ahead and start. We start with absolutely nothing except for the compass. We don't have any weapons. And over here on the table, we can pick up our lockpicks, which we will need, and we can't return those. And a letter. A keeper's letter. For good reasons, we must be brief. Your stay in Rocksbourg is no longer necessary. In past weeks, the situation in Old City has calmed considerably. The downfall of the mechanists have been slower than expected, but as the books foretold, balance has returned. A new prophecy has been revealed, a prophecy that may involve you. Rejoin us now, because unpredictable events may occur outside the city. With your presence, we will see clearly and can explain all in detail. Please return as soon as possible. Garibald has received instructions. May your journey be swift. Okay, so this is sort of a plea from the keepers for us to come back, I guess. Alright, now as you might see, some of the textures are a little bit different from the original Rocksbourg release because I'm using the Necro Age texture mod. I decided to use that for this mission because they are made sort of inspired by Rocksbourg. They have that sort of dark and gritty look, so I don't think this deviates too much from the original textures, but they're mere upgrades, or basically upgrades to the original Rocksbourg, which is good. I want to keep to the original as much as possible, but upgrades we can never get too much of. Okay, let's move out of this room. There's nothing else in here. Here we have a footlocker that we can pick, and it has our blackjack. We're not going to need that since we play Supreme or Ghost, so I'm going to skip it. But we can flip this coat hook.
Now time to relocate.
And find our secret armory entrance. In this footlocker, we can find 3 noisemaker arrows, if you want it. In here, we have a total of 2 flash bombs, a gas mine, 7 broadhead arrows, 2 rope arrows, and I'm going to take 1 of those. We have 6 water arrows, and I'm going to take 2 of those. We're going to need 2. I'm going to leave the others. 4 flares. We have a healing potion. We have a sword, I believe, somewhere. There. We have nothing else. I mentioned the gas mine and the flash bombs. 2 flash bombs. Out here, you can see an area of the map that's actually not accessible. But be careful as you walk towards the window, because people can see you. Close this. Let's go ahead and read another letter over here. This is the key to the hideout. I'm actually not going to go ahead and take that because we don't need it. We can leave a different way. Garibald's letter. G. I must warn you. Last night there was trouble in Rocksbourg. Some people talk of murder, but the town watch remains silent, and I do not know exactly what happened. The watch seems particularly concerned. They are very anxious and condemn the district. If you decide to go out as usual tonight, be careful. In fact, I suggest you stay in. One rumor I heard is that a person dressed in black is seen hurrying or fleeing from the scene. Since you are a stranger in this town, and since black is your favorite color, I think you are clever enough to conclude that story. With regard to the message from our friends, I found a guide who will lead you out of town and through the region without trouble. I must arrange the details with him this evening. Until morning then, and again I beg you to avoid anyone's notice. Garibald. Okay, let's drop this back as well. Under the desk is actually a little switch that opens the secret exit. So we're going to take that. First, however, I'm going to show you a few things downstairs. I like to point out all the pickables. This is the toilet. Down here we have 3 carrots, 3 apples, 2 cheeses, 2 loaves of bread. Deer leg and 2 cucumbers, and there's a fire arrow in the fireplace. I think that's it. Yes. Nothing else. But I know that some of you like to pick everything up, and food items are actually worth a little bit of health. Let's go ahead and close this secret entrance and open the top exit.
Hey, the city looks almost bearable from up here.
There we go. Let's close this. The switch is very tough to see. It's on the side of this pillar. There we go. That is just in order to avoid picking up the hideout key. I don't like to pick up anything that I don't have to. And that also is in the spirit of Supreme Rules to do. Okay. In here, through this window, is a stack of gold coins, or first piece of loot, worth 25. I'm sneaking down here because there are a couple of guards below that give settling remarks, even though they shouldn't. We can pick the purse on Andrew, the drunk. Worth 100, total 125. I'm gonna go over here and make a real save. Okay, so these areas marked 1 here are gates out to an area that we can't get to called Farglow. There's actually an area made for the map that you can get to if you use rope arrows in some nifty ways. I'm not going to do that, but you can. Then you will get to sort of a closed off section that sort of breaks the map, so you're not supposed to go there. But there is a woman that is placed right here, I think, which is, we're stationed right here now. She's on the other side of this wall. Now, she is a neutral enemy, or neutral civilian, which means that she doesn't alert to us normally, but she does give settling remarks. And I've talked about that in a couple of previous missions. Those are not busts to Supreme, but up until recently I didn't know that she was a neutral civilian. I thought she was an actual hostile, though I never really heard her first alert remarks. So in the old report for this mission, if you've read that, I've actually indicated that she causes us to have to skip a couple of pieces of loot in here because she alerts, but she actually doesn't. if you go to this area, she doesn't alert to us at all. She doesn't, go into hunt mode, nothing like that, not unless you actually attack her. So her alerts and her remarks, if you hear those, they are disregarded, they're irrelevant for Supreme and for Regular Ghost. Regular Ghost doesn't even care about first alerts. The same can be said about the guard that wanders here. He can be avoided, but he sometimes also gives settling remarks, but he doesn't normally alert to us, so we don't have to worry about him or the drunk here. So I just wanted to say that before we restart, so that you don't think that any settling remarks actually are busts to Supreme, which they aren't. Okay, we're going to go ahead and listen to a conversation coming up right here, and then I'm going to explain a situation that is a little bit tricky, so it requires a little bit of background information before we actually do it. Okay, so let me see. I'm going to load the save game, and I'll explain that afterwards.
I can't stand this uniform anymore. Bah, when I take my boots off, I have unbelievable blisters, and it's so tight I can't move.
You know how the world's like now. You can't blame him.
Yeah, tell me about it. The other night I was on guard duty up on fortifications. Never saw so many people deployed. Not even at Shoals Gate.
Think anything will happen?
Well, I don't know. The atmosphere is heavy on the other side, inside the city. Like the calm before the storm, you know? Oh, by the way, do you know about the tomb they found under the
I should
fortifications?
write that down.
There's this guy who was digging his basement to make it bigger, and he stumbled upon this tomb with a bunch of statuettes. He told me he was hearing weird whisperings too, but oh well. The strangest thing is that every time we moved something, the very next day it was back where we took it from, in the tomb. We tried to hide them, watch them, and take them as far away as possible. Nothing worked. We couldn't keep them.
Oh, who you kidding?
Sorry, but no, I'm not joking here. The other night, I brought some statuettes to the mechanists so they could study them. They placed them in a safe, but on the following day, the idols had disappeared. They found them back in the tomb again, and the safe is still intact. No one touched it. It wasn't broken into.
What?
Yeah, I couldn't believe it myself, but we still don't know anything. The mechanists got scared and locked up the cave. Lord Namez left with the key, except that since he's had that key, he's completely lost his mind. Damn, there's strange things going on in this city. I'm telling you, the first excuse, the first change, and I'm out of here.
Okay, so what happened now is that we got a couple of new objectives. First of all, looks like Lord Namez has been driven insane. Try to find out the root of his madness. And if it were indeed dug under the city walls, it should be interesting to find that cellar about which the rumors speak. So those two are new, I believe. Did we have this one? Steal the valuable statuette? Yeah, that one we had originally. It's just a shortened version of it. Okay. So what I'm also going to do now is take a look at how long that conversation took. So you note the time here now. I'm not going to save, but 6:19. I'll explain why that is important. So 6:19. And let me explain. So, those two have a conversation. During the conversation, and during conversations of any enemy, the enemy does not first alert. And there's nothing to be said in the Supreme Rules about whether using or exploiting the fact that they don't first alert during conversations is allowed or not. So I know some players, at least some ghosters have allowed that you can do something that normally would spawn a first alert during a conversation of an enemy. So there are certain things we can do here now while they are having their conversation that we can't do if we wait until the conversation is done, simply because they will first alert for Supreme. And that something is get into this building right here. The building that I'm talking about is this, 3. It's the residence of a person named Roebuck, which I think is working for the mechanists of some way. We'll read about him in his diary. He has a workshop in the basement, so I think he does some kind of metallurgy or some kind of engineer for the mechanists. And there are two ways to get into his apartment. One is through a basement entrance right here, which is directly to the north. It's at the end of this little alley. Now, I have never been able to get in there without getting an alert from the guy that you see in the distance here. He always first alerts. I've never been able to get past him without a first alert, so that is a no-no. There's no way we can get in there for Supreme. However, I have been able to get into Roebuck's residence by rope arrowing up this rafter and up that ledge, across to the other side and onto the balcony. There is an archer here, by the way. You can't really see him now. If I move a little bit, yeah, there you can. You can see him right up there. There's an archer that pivots. He's going to be very difficult for us to get by. So he is stationed, let's see, that'll be right up here, somehow. So what I have to do, I'm going to reload, so I'm not worrying about these alerts.
Must be one of them grubbers again.
What I'm going to do is, during their conversation, I am going to get up there, head inside the building, grab one piece of loot on the ledge up here or on a balcony, and then grab all the pieces of loot inside Roebuck's residence and get back down to the streets and into this alley before their conversation ends. So what I have now is until 6:19 to do all that. Now, that's not all. There's another problem as well. And the problem is that if I save during that process, when I reload, they will restart their conversation. Now, you can do that in order to extend the time. You have to exploit the fact that they can't get first alerts during that time. But I don't see saving and reloading as something that's possible to do for Supreme. I would see that as a direct exploit or exploitation of the engine. I mean, you can restart the conversation, but obviously that wouldn't happen in natural circumstances. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to do all these moves within the course of time that it would normally take for them to finish their conversation. That is until the timer reaches 6:19. So if I can do all of that, if I can take all those pieces of loot inside this residence before the timer hits 6:19 and get back to safety, then I will say that I have successfully taken those pieces of loot for Supreme. And the only reason I'm doing this is to be able to get as much loot as I can for Supreme. So this may take a couple of tries, and if it takes many tries, I will annotate. The biggest problem is making sure that that archer up there is facing away. He pivots in at least 3 directions. So now I have explained the situation. Hopefully you understood it. If not, hopefully you can sort of go back and listen to my explanations again, or just see what I'm doing. First of all, however, we are going to read this. Notice to all citizens. The doors of the Farglow district will be closed nightly until the recent incidents are explained. Crossing the safety perimeter is strictly prohibited. Violators will be arrested and transferred to the Builder's Children for interrogation. To offer assistance or testimony about these incidents, please see the district sergeant. Okay, so now I'm going to do it. Oops, that was not right. It was this.
I can't stand this uniform anymore. Bah, when I take my boots off, I have unbelievable blisters, and it's so tight I can't move.
You know how the world's like now.
So now they went to second level hunt mode, which they do sometimes.
I can't stand this uniform anymore. Bah, when I take my boots off, I have unbelievable blisters, and it's so tight I can't move. I can't stand this uniform anymore. Bah, when I take my boots off, I have unbelievable blisters, and it's so tight I can't move.
You know how the world's like now. You can't blame it.
Yeah, tell me about it. The other night I was on guard duty up on the fortifications. Never saw so many people deployed. Not even at Shoals Gate.
Think anything will happen?
Well, I don't know.
There we go.
The atmosphere is heavy on the other side, inside the city. Like the calm before the storm.
Hello?
Okay.
I can't stand this uniform anymore. When I take my
So we need that guy to stand facing that direction for long enough.
anymore. I can't stand this uniform anymore.
I don't like the looks.
I can't stand.
Okay, so the kickoff can't be.
I can't stand this uniform anymore. When I take my boots off, I have unbelievable blisters, and it's so tight
Okay.
I can't move.
Now we need to jump up here.
I can't stand
I
this.
should write that down.
When I take my boots off, I have unbelievable blisters, and it's so tight I can't move.
You know how the world's like now. You can't blame it.
Yeah, tell
Okay.
me about it. The other night I was on guard duty up on the fortifications. Never saw so many people deployed. Not even at Shoals Gate.
Think anything will happen?
Okay, I'm gonna save it there and see what time I'm at. Ooh, 5:35. Okay, I might be able to make that because I have to go downstairs and take another piece of loot.
Happen?
Well, I don't know.
Well, first I'm gonna go ahead and read something down here.
Like a calm before the storm, you know. Oh, by the way.
Day 1. A diary for a new fresh start, or an end. Angeline left with this underling. Let's forget them. A diary created especially for this new study, launched by the mech builders' children, as they now like to be called. I find this research project interesting, but I'll need to find true usefulness in it for them. I fear development like the necrotic mutox. I know about the true nature of that. Such horror. Who knows what Karas has planned this time around? I'm under the supervision of Dreyfus, but have never seen or heard from him. Who knows if he really even exists? I must make a deal with this Fegwen, so naive and utopic. As long as I bring my part to the project, well, bring my cogwheel, let's say, thank goodness I can deal with them. This thus prevents me from thinking of Angeline. I shall only decline if I cannot forget my past. Day 8. 1 week since I started work on this ore. I've begun to extract some interesting substances. Intriguing, rather. I've never seen such a material. Some would say 'tis pagan sorcery, and I would believe them. The problem is, the mech builders' children aren't much help, and I'm unsure of the whereabouts of other participants. In addition, I've even failed myself in my work, in that the more I try to forget her, the more present she is. Even in a way, she's here. Day 10. I'm positively disgusted with all this. The situation is in dire need of closing. The mechanists ignore me, though they don't scorn me. I cannot help thinking of Angeline. Why have I accepted this job? Why have I let her go? Why am I staying anyway? Day 11. Well, yesterday was horrid, but presently I've made an extraordinary discovery. This Jacob, and this, I'm just realizing I don't know the name of the strange man. Regardless, these two men accosted me when I was drowned in a pint of beer. I am thus reduced to a futile pursuit towards liquid amnesia. We've spent the morning in discussion, and I now have a goal, a use, per se, for the ore. They have opened my eyes, at the very least. These builders' children can count on me no longer to assist their vile plans. I'm no longer fooled. I go back to work this very evening. I've lost enough time already. Day 14. How foolish they are. Their plans are totally erroneous. This solution is unsuitable, unstable, and in addition, they refuse to believe me. For each problem, there is a single solution. Wrong. There are only complex ones with multiple solutions. Nay, too bad for them. My findings will be used only in pursuit of our goal. We will advance beyond them, and this Dreyfus will come later to seek out our help. Day 16. Hell, because of, thanks to Jacob, they unveiled what they will do to me. Curse you, Angeline, my faults bestowed by you alone. Had you never left me, I would never have considered double-crossing the mechanists. Never encountered this gangster. Now I have nothing left. They took from me all the ore. By the bill, no, he exists not, at least. Not any longer. I cannot fathom being in Kara's hands. Day 17. I was not able to sleep last night. I simply could not. I'm in my last hours of freedom, if not my last hours of life. I mustn't lose him. Running away. 'Tis impossible, for the City Watch knows me. Truart and his lieutenants work with them. Work for those builders' children. Truly a golden cage, this city is, and lack we nothing but our own liberty. They've traced the whole network, and found Jacob. He'll deserve all he's to receive. The pub has been closed, I can no longer seek tranquility there. But nay, I have not the time for peace, regardless. If I'm to die, I like to have their plans fail. I must not write it down. My diary could be read. 'Twould spoil my secretive intent. Besides, day 21. I don't understand. I wait for them, and yet they do not come. Damn them, come thus, I say. 'Tis true torture, and feels as though any hour, minute, second spoiled is less time allotted for my attempted escape. Perchance I should leave instead of wait. A sort of Damocles. How am I to leave? Though, there is a true quarantine out there, and where to leave to? Yes, I know now. I now know, Angeline, she must leave with me. Yes, but no. Why should I leave thus? Her, I'll let her leave, quite simply. Let her return to her builder. Myself, I no longer hold respect for anything of him. Okay, kind of a confusing diary at times, but I guess it's written by a drunk person, so... Okay, let me also show you that out here is the bum with a purse. That purse we have to skip for Supreme. Even if we come this way, we can't leave because of this light and avoid getting a first alert. So I'm going to reload again now and go down and quickly get that loot and try to get back to the alley before 6:19 hits the clock.
I can't stand this uniform anymore. When I take my boots off, I have unbelievable blisters, and it's so tight I can't move.
You know how the world's like now. You can't blame me.
Yeah, tell me about it. The other night I was on guard duty.
Not again.
Fortification.
Okay, he can't be stationed anything else but towards east, which he's doing.
When I take my boots off, I have unbelievable blisters, and it's so tight.
Okay, he turned right there.
I can't stand this uniform anymore. When I
Can't a
take
guy
my
nap
boots
around
off,
here?
I can't stand this uniform anymore. When I
Not
take
again.
my boots I can't stand this uniform anymore. When I take my boots off, I have unbelievable. I can't stand this uniform anymore. When I take my boots off, I have unbelievable
What's that?
blisters, and it. I can't stand this uniform anymore. When I take my boots off, I have unbelievable blisters, and it's so tight I can't move.
You know how
Okay, we should have time for this, actually.
the world's like now. You can't blame me.
You need
Yeah, tell me
to
about it. The other
face
night I
north,
was on
though.
guard duty. I can't stand this uniform anymore. When I take my boots off. I can't stand this uniform anymore. When I take my boots off, I have unbelievable blisters, and it's so tight. I can't stand this uniform anymore. When I take my boots off, I have unbelievable blisters, and it's so tight I can't move.
You know how the world's like now. You can't blame me.
There we are. 6 seconds to spare. Great. Then we can save over that.
Yeah, tell me about it. The other
Perfect.
night I was on guard duty up on fortifications. Never saw so many people employed. Not even at Shoals Gate.
Think anything will happen?
Well, I don't know. The atmosphere is heavy on the other side, inside the city. Like the calm before the storm, you know?
Okay, so let me sort of review what I just did.
The fortifications?
I went into Roebuck's apartment, and I took all the loot I could there. I did skip the purse on the bum in the street, like I said, and I did that all within the time it would normally take for those two guards to finish their conversation. So I got back to safety, back to the alley now, before they would have finished it for the first time. Problem is that they're going to keep talking now because the conversation restarts once you reload. So in there, we took a total of, well, the archer on the balcony, he had 3 arrows, if you're into pickpockets. We took a goblet on the balcony across from Robux first, worth 25. We took 2 plates worth 20. We took a gold goblet on the floor in Robux living room. We took a bottle of wine. We took a mask. We took an artifact. And then we took a pair of glasses in his workshop. So total now, we should have 365 loot, which we do have. That's great. I'm going to wait again for their conversation to finish now, so I can take his purse.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it myself, and we still don't know anything. The mechanist got scared and locked up the cave. Lord Namez left with the key, except that since he's had that key, he's completely lost his mind. Damn, there's strange things going on in this thing. I'm telling you, the first excuse. The first
So that went reasonably well. It could have taken a lot longer than what it did. I was pretty lucky with the direction. Here they come. I was pretty lucky with the direction of the archer there. It didn't take long before he positioned himself the way I needed him to, which is good. Otherwise, this could have taken half an hour. Okay, this is Biggs, and he has a purse worth 100. Total 465. Good. We're in good shape. This is great. Actually, go ahead and make a real save as well over that. Perfect. On the ledge that I rope arrowed up to the first time are also a single moss arrow. If you want to pick up all the items, there's a moss arrow up there, but everything else I made note of. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue. Let's see. We want to actually head back to the starting area right now.
Just because I've been here only a few months, I think that I can just get away with pushing me around.
Here.
I'll show them someday. Someday they'll get what they deserve.
So this guard doesn't really care about us, so I'm not going to worry about him. I'm going to pick the lock on this door, though. There. So picking the lock on this door will yield a settling remark from, I think, both the guard and the woman in that hidden alley. But again, I won't care about those. Okay. In here, we have 2 stacks of gold coins, 1 stack of silver coins, and 2 stacks of copper coins. For a total of 537. Okay, over here we should have a purse that's pretty well hidden behind these crates, worth 100, total 637. Out here we can see the area where the conversation was held earlier, and this door we have to pick. I tried to limit the amount of locks picked throughout any mission. It's not required for Supreme, but I always like to. It just seems cleaner to me. But this one we have to pick if we want all the loot, and that is always high priority to me. Okay, down here there's a single piece of loot. In this chest. Through this window, here you can see the lady that I talked about earlier. So she is positioned right on the east side of this wall, and we're underground right now. So we can see out of the window where she's located. So she will eventually give settling remarks, but like I explained, I don't care about that. we go. An artifact worth 20, total 657. Okay, so now we're done in the area right around the hideout. So we can finally move to other places of the city. Let's see, let's actually head down here. Good, nice timing. Okay, so under here, there's a chest that we want to pick with some loot. That mechanist above, he would hear the lockpicks, so I wanted him to be gone, and he just did. So in this chest we have a diamond worth 100, total 757. Right. Down here, we're located right here now. Down that path will take us to the back door to Namez's quarters. But we don't have the key for that door yet. We will get it later. So that's one of the ways into the south part of the map. But you have to have the key, and there's no way we can get that until later. We're not intended to. So we can't go down there. We'll come back up there a little bit later, though. Let's see if we can do this. Alright, we want to head in here, but I'm not sure where those mechanisms... Okay, I wanted to dodge that guy. I'll wait for him right here. Alright, let's follow him. There's nothing in this trunk. See if we can dodge him. It's a little difficult. There's a chest right here we have to pick. Okay, good. Might get some alerts from these guys during the picking, so I'm gonna try to time it appropriately. There's a rug in here worth 150. It's a lot of difficult picks in these missions. So that's just a scripted response. It's not him seeing me. There we go. Total 907. All right. Okay, I don't know if we can hide here actually. Up here will actually take us past the Namez main doors, but you can't pass that corner without getting a first alert from one of the guys inside. If you're playing regular Ghost, you can get through here easily enough, but for Supreme we can't. That's the second way into the south part of the map.
Did that shadow move?
Okay, so he saw me there. Alright, through this door we have the sewer watchman's cabin. We can pick the lock on that door, and we will later. The problem is that if we do that and enter, a conversation will spawn right here. Will trigger, and we don't want to trigger that just yet. Because if we do, we will get caught going through the canal, which is the fourth and last way into Namez's quarters. We can go through this house, or this cabin, that'll be the third. But we'll actually have to go through the canal.
What's that?
Oh, man. Unlucky.
Let us give thanks to the builder. My hands with fingers, and behold my fingers walk like cogs on a gear.
Alright, we're coming up on a little bit of a tricky area, so I'm going to make a real save. See if we can peek. Take a peek around the corner. There we go. So those two guards up there, let me actually sneak in. They have what seems to be like conversations, but they don't actually say anything. This archer here, she is pivoting back and forth, like such. And the other guy just makes a little patrol up to where you see him now, and then he turns around and comes back and stops for a few seconds at her. Talks with her, or at least makes some kind of hand movements indicating that they're talking. So we have to take one piece of loot up in this area, and this is where the bridge is, and then we have to head down into the canal and deal with the next problem, which is getting to the southern part of the map. Don't know if this guy will catch me here, but we'll just have to see. No.
What?
Alright, so she gives the first alert, so I have to wait here until she's facing away. I have to drop into the canal and then head through that doorway at the far right there. Okay, does he come? There's the watchman in the canal actually carries a lantern, so he's going to be very, very difficult to pass. But as long as we're up here, we're safe. He won't illuminate us if he comes. So here he comes. Lantern guards are difficult, obviously, because you can't be in front of them even if you're in the dark. But if you elevate it a little bit like I am now, their lantern won't light you up. So that's a good thing to know. Okay, just gotta have her facing away. This might be our chance right here.
Something there?
Oh.
Not again.
There we go. Alright, so she has to be facing away even when we're crossing this little area. Let me read this note first. Notice to all citizens. The Black Barrel pub has been shut due to ongoing investigations of import tax fraud, illegal alcohol trafficking, and possible links with the Rats of Rocksbourg. Knowledgeable citizens are invited to share their information with the City Watch. Rewards possible, discretion guaranteed. This is Tramp right here. That's her actual name, it's Tramp. She's very weary, so if we make a little bit of noise, she will...
Hello up there. I'll go your what? It's cold, it stinks, and I'm hungry. They don't even know how to wash the uniforms at the barracks. And what's so funny, huh? No need to
It'll be tricky to get through here undetected.
Watch your back. Thief's done murder. They had enough clothes at the armory. All I have is a sword. What the hell can I do with such a weapon up here? Captain, you better keep alert. Like I care.
Alright. So this is another one of the Farglow gates. We're now in the far northwest corner. So all we need here is the purse from this guy. Worth 100. Total 1007. And now we have to deal with the problem of actually getting...
Hey, notice that?
What?
I got a cell waiting for you, Tavern.
Alright, so the end of those bottom parts of those pillars are the dark spots. Here. Guy behind me saw me.
Mobile guard duty. Pay's not as good as me, but...
What?
Come on, lady, turn around. She likes to face this direction more than she does to the east. There we go.
See that? Think we got trouble.
Hey, you let someone get away?
Man. Didn't experience this much problem the last time I was here.
You see anything just then?
Probably worth investigating that.
So I need to get over there.
Hey,
Someone
notice
there?
that?
Hey, look.
There we go.
That's what I know. Sure, it's just as bad as those blue blood. You never really know how to short walking.
Alright, this is pretty perfect. Good timing here. I'm gonna drop into the canal.
Hey, did you notice that?
And that she saw. There's a key in the canal that we need. There. A library key.
Always nothing.
Ooh. She didn't even give a first alert, she just gave a settling remark.
I don't like the looks of...
On that one. Okay, let me just wait until she turns around or something. Okay. So, the way to pass this guy, the lantern guy, is to use a rope arrow right here.
Who's making that noise?
Actually, let me make a real save. Because this shot has to be pretty accurate. Might take a few tries this.
What was that?
We can't shoot it that hard. There. I don't know if this will work, but let's try it.
Sure, it's just as bad as those bloody. What?
Okay, so we have to climb up more to evade that guy's lantern. That's the point here.
Say again? Odd noise. I don't like this.
Maybe we can get closer. That was a little bit too close to the right there.
Something there?
Maybe that'll do. Let's climb all the way up. The problem is afterwards to get back down, but see if I can save it here. Okay, they all heard me there. When you save on a rope, you sort of have to wiggle around a little bit as you reload.
What the hell was that?
Well, this is the way to do it. Otherwise, there's very few areas where you can pass that guy in the water.
Something there?
Alright, so that might be the method, to sort of land on the frame right here. No. Gotta be higher up, gotta be higher up. There. There we go. There we go. Where's the conversation gonna start?
What's the latest on the war, Robin?
War? More like invasion or epidemic. I have some information, but you must swear to keep what I tell you a secret. I cannot say much, only that for the moment a kind of truce is in place. It will not last. Bernice and I fear the worst. We are leaving the city at dawn, and I would advise you to do the same.
I think you worry too much. This city is like a fortress. With the mechanists here to help us defend the city, we needn't fret about it.
Mechanists? But my friend, I have received news from the old city. The mechanists are gone. Harris has been defeated by pagans. As far as these builders' children are concerned, they are no better than the mechanists. They're desperately trying to save what is already lost. You cannot count on the Hammerites either. Their order is exhausted, and they lack manpower. No, all we have left is the City Watch, and Truitt's men are not up to the task.
Well, until I see a battle going on outside my window, I shan't worry about it.
Alas, my friend, that day will come sooner than we think. May we meet again under better circumstances.
Alright, so that was the conversation I mentioned earlier we wanted to trigger after we passed through the canal, or as we were passing through. Otherwise, one of the guys is going to be facing directly the direction that we're coming from, that we just came from the north. But instead he had turned around during the conversation, so he didn't see us. So we were now able to cross the canal, or use the canal to travel south. We passed the lantern guy, we got the rope arrow, we didn't get any first alerts from that. And we're now sort of in the second half of the city. And this is exactly where we want to be. Alright, let's go all the way south to the end of the canal. We can find a tiny ring worth 100, total 1107. Let's head in here. This is a homeless guy, he doesn't alert to us. He has dewdrop that you can take, and that actually counts as a pickpocket. And there are 2 moss arrows hanging from these bars right here. And next we want to mantle up this pipe. Sneak along it. And go in through this door. This guy at the end here doesn't alert to us, but he gives settling remarks, which I would like to avoid. Doesn't really matter, because there's so many that could possibly happen. But let me at least try to avoid that from this guy. At least for Supreme. Save it here. There's another conversation that we'll listen to further south here that will trigger a patroller on this part of the streets, but she is not there because we haven't triggered it yet, which is good. Now there's a mechanist, one of the ones we ran into earlier, that patrols around this corner. I don't know how far out he comes. Here is another ring. Congratulations, you found the Jorge Tex Easter egg. And this guy alerted to us, so we can't... Guess we gotta walk a little closer to the right. We shouldn't have to get any first alerts from him, though.
What was that?
Does he see me? For real? I have never had that happen before. I know that there's not much in it, but... At least save it here. There. And down there's the mechanist. Okay, he didn't give an alert there, so that's good. I thought for a second that he could see me. Maybe I just scooted out a little bit too much one at a time, because we need to get in here without an alert. Because here we have a jewelry box that we can pick. just took the Easter egg ring for a total of 1207. This has a necklace worth 200. Which takes us to 1407. Yeah. And another secret. Okay, let's get back there without a first alert from him. Good. Maybe because he also has that imitation conversation with the woman. And every time he does that, he maybe changes position a little bit. Not sure. Over here is a water trough with 2 water arrows, if you need those for some reason. Okay, good. Okay, next we're gonna head in over here. It's actually mantle up this way. Can be a little bit difficult to get in here without an alert. Guess that did the trick. Close these. Here's a pickable chest. With some loot. So now we're just moving around city, picking up pieces of loot here and there. We're going to get to a couple of objectives in not too long. There we go. An artifact worth 20, total 1427. Now this is the kitchen in here, where we have 2 apples, we have a deer leg, and we have a cheese. And that's it. Nothing else. So what we've done now, we went down here, picked up the ring and the secret. Now we're in Sand's apartment. So we went in through a window here. So we're now in his bedroom. So we're going to complete the rest of the southwest area. But first, let's read this. Just because Sheriff Truitt suffers from arachnophobia, 8 years ago he ordered all spiders in town to be exterminated without exception. As a result, a very rare species of arachnid almost disappeared. They were commonly known as Rocksbourg spiders, but the scientific name is Monstruar onmenstrankno. Sorry, I can't remember. I must ask Pinwheel again. These spiders can live for more than 2 centuries, which means that some of the adults killed during the sheriff's onslaught had witnessed the cataclysm. Rather than insects, we should consider these creatures to be mammals or reptiles, for they seem to have evolved outside nature's laws. Only a handful can still live today. On another note, spiders are not insects, but anyway. But thanks to astounding good fortune, I managed to discover 2 living young specimens of this species. Presumably about 8 months old, although extremely poisonous, I managed to bring the spiders out of the sewers with Jack's help, but we almost met our end. We tore out their glands. Sorry, another scientific name that I cannot remember. They will regenerate, I hope. Pinwheel is quite sure of it. With this done, we can feed and study them without risking our lives. Pinwheel keeps the spiders in his basement, but we must send them with the pagans who are hiding in a park southwest of town. This will be a difficult task, and is why I ask for your help, Mr. W. Please meet me at Fawn Square on the next night of the full moon, around 2 o'clock, Sand. So these spiders we can actually find in Pinwheel's basement. However, we cannot go in there for Supreme, as I'll explain in not too long. Okay, let's reload so that we can leave that where we found it. And pick the lock on this money box. Okay. Oops. We have a stack of silver coins worth 12, total 1439. Let's head out this window. If you crouch and then mantle, new mantle makes you able to get out there pretty easily. Alright, so now we are... no, we're not going there. We're going over here, I think.
Huh?
Oh.
Who's that?
Okay, we gotta go head in where he is. We're gonna loot a balcony that is very difficult. Hopefully you guys see the need for a map in this mission. It's very difficult to maneuver, difficult to explain to you guys where we are.
What's that I see?
Huh. So what I'm trying to do is, I'm right here now. I want to get up these stairs and take a couple of pieces of loot in these two buildings. But it's actually heavily trafficated. There's one guard and one nobleman that patrols.
What's that I see?
I didn't think he would catch me there. Oh. Let's stand here instead. Alright. So up here. Oh man, there he was. Okay, he's stationed there much longer than what I thought. We gotta wait for him to leave. Here he comes, I think. So here's a woman.
Guards!
Okay, and we want to take the loot without her seeing us, so we have to sort of make use of hardcover. Here we go. 2 goblets, 1 bottle of wine. No, yeah, 1 bottle of wine and
Is
2
someone what?
stacks of gold coins. Five pieces of loot.
Strange. Saw something there for
And
a
we want to
moment.
get up there, but we want to do that without her seeing us, and this is difficult. What we have to do, we have to jump from the railing. But we have to do that from the edge of the railing. Because if we jump from the railing itself, we're going to get heard. We have to do that and land in the mantle. And we have to jump over the arc of the entryway. Oh man, now this guy woke up. Here we go. So that we sort of travel over her line of sight. And that's the only way I've found to do that. We have... this guy has 3 broadheads. and his way of sleeping does not look comfortable. Okay, in here we have a scroll. My lord, we've got a request, and I'm writing this note to your lordship because I write the bestest. Since you hired us in spring, we like the job very much, and we like the pay fine, and you could pay us more if you like to. But winter's coming, and maybe you don't know, but there aren't no windows in the tower. Nice drapes, sure fancy and all. I got my blanket, but it's getting cold up here. If you could put up some windows, or let us sleep in the attic where it's plenty warm, or give us extra hot buns for breakfast, that would be so great. All of us love hot buns. Many thanks from your humble and vigilant guards, Benoit and company, I guess. Let's leave that where we found it. And behind here is a very well hidden purse worth 100, total 1669. And then there are also 3 stacks of copper coins. You have carrots, you have a loaf of bread, and you have an apple on the table. Now getting back down is equally difficult, or maybe even more difficult. Because again, we have to wait for the guard and the nobleman to be out of the way. We have to mantle up and drop from, or actually make a little jump from the edge of this ledge to the silent edge of the fence. Both of these surfaces are metal, so this is going to be very difficult. This might take a couple of tries. But it's a very good rule to try to use the edges of metallic or marbled surfaces because they're silent. So you can actually make half-controlled jumps, at least, from those. So let's see. There. See if we can do this. So now I landed firmly on the fence. I don't want to do that.
What's that?
And now I landed a little bit too far away, so I couldn't stay there. There. That is perfect. And it's out of her view, too.
Strange noises.
Is someone there?
Strange noises.
Good. Let's see if we can drop.
Strange noises.
We've got to drop down there silently now. The point is that it's very difficult to... You can't crouch.
Strange noises.
Can't crouch when you're in this position, so...
Who's there?
There we go. That's perfect. Let's head back here for safety. So this is the cellar that is talked about, and it's locked now.
Locked. I'll need the key to open it.
No kidding, Garrett. Caution. Breaking of door seals is strictly prohibited. Due to the appearance of strange phenomena, the cellar has been closed, awaiting condemnation. Any trespassers will be arrested and given to the builder's children. We don't want that. So we have to find the cellar key then. Okay. Now I want to head into this building right here. I found the easiest way to do that is just go in through the window.
Uniforms are better. They got real good boots.
I want to make a real save. I haven't done that for a little while.
Someone there?
Right, so I think that was the guard outside. Let's wait a little bit for him. here is another purse worth 100, totaled 1784, and a diary. Samuel's diary. Marvel will be happy because I found a way into the builder's children's warehouse. If I'd only known before that Bullied got a hideout in this abandoned house's attic. When you don't have a rope arrow, he just goes through the warehouse's ventilation pipes. He's a nutter, but at least that's not the kind of place where they'd expect to find him. He told me the pipes are noisy, so he's just driving the mechanist mad. They are convinced it's the trickster who provokes them. Such a bunch of fools. He told me he saw a few statuettes stocked in the middle of some crates, and he thinks he can sell them for a good price. I figure we'll check this out and fill our purses, and then buy some more equipment to get the boss out of prison. Heard that Joseph Scroop's got a plan for Highstone. If I get this Taffin stuff done quick, I could give them a hand. Trying to keep this video kid-friendly, I guess. So that's it. Okay, so on the west side of this house, we're going to overhear a conversation.
You guys can't treat me like this. I'm a veteran.
Sorry, we got our orders. No one gets through. It's a matter of security. That's stupid. People to worry about there on the inside. What the? Hey, don't you get started on this too. Yeah, since Sheriff Troy's dead, I have to work with some...
What? The sheriff's been murdered? How?
No, you taffer. I'm talking about the old city sheriff. The sheriff of this city, he's called Truett too, but it's anonymous or homonymous. I don't remember how it's said. They've got the same name, but they're not the same person. You see? Alright, what are we gonna do with this guy here anyway? Dunno. Just smash him flat with those things.
I need to find a better way than this.
Okay, so the guy that ran off is actually going to station himself right outside the balcony that we stole loot from recently. Among the rubble in the little alley there. So that's why we did the balcony first, because it's going to be very difficult for us to do that if he's there. He has 3 arrows, by the way, and so does this guy right here. 3 more arrows, if you're looking for pickpockets. I want to wait for that. Yeah, okay, she left just now. Here's a moss arrow. And another moss arrow. That equals 2 moss arrows. Okay, now we can finally head into the ventilation pipes that the readable talked about. And those are right back where the homeless guy is. Right, so now she's patrolling the girl that was involved in that conversation, so we have to be careful not to alert her, which is why I took the loot in the streets before we triggered that conversation. Actually, we can probably get to where we need to go without even having her see us. Okay.
The noise. I'm as sure of it as the builder himself.
Okay, so when we go through the ventilation shafts, we're gonna have to open a lot of grates, and the mechanists might hear those. I have no idea where they are, so it's just gonna be trial and error here. So just bear with me, people. There we go. Come on. So we can go up there, but we're going to head through here first. Okay. Here we actually see the mechanist warehouse that was talked about in the readable and where we visited earlier. They can see us through these windows, so we got to be careful. Nope, did not see us there. And these are obviously metal, so I have to sort of inch my way. Good. Here we can actually drop down to one of the plazas or one of the alleys around our hideout. We don't want to do that, but you can. It's an alternate way of moving around. That's a one-way ticket, though. You can't get back up. Just listening for alerts for every time I open these. Right, so here we have the bully's loft. 2 stacks of silver coins. And a box that we can pick. Has a mask worth 50, total 1858. And that's it, there's nothing else. This isn't readable. So we still haven't had to take any Supreme busts. But one is coming up in not too long, unfortunately. Actually, several of them are coming up.
Who treads there?
Gotta wait for that guy to pass. Alright, here we can head right or left. We're going to head left first. And that'll take us down into one of the mechanist offices that we couldn't get to before. Just try to drop down without landing on the ladder. That's better normally. Okay. Here we have 2 statues, worth 30, total 1888. We have a book. Day 16. By the Builder, may our metal cease the infamy. May the forge's fire cleanse man and his gears be reborn free of all sin. This roebuck, vileness and greed gnawed his being. He thought to thwart Dreyfus's plans and the plans of the Master Builder by perverting the ore against its true purpose. Because we trusted him, his treachery is thus the greater. He is unworthy of being undone by our hands. He shall perish by root and by leaves. Thanks be to our brother Feguen, suspicions. We hath uncovered a web of fraud that includes the black market of the Red Quarter and several entities, including the Black Barrel Pub, but a few steps from our warehouse. What arrogance! The Master Builder is not blind, and there art many things even he canst not forgive. The Red Quarter we will visit in Mission 2. And he too, that bully, He thinks we do not know his presence, but I did spy him. He pretends to sneak skillfully in the shadows, but he hath the skill of a burrick, and other such pagan monstrosities. Yet his master builder did not fail to grant us the gift of ingenuity, and so we feign ignorance of his presence within our walls. He shalt lead us to his brethren, and we shalt rid the city of those rats. Such is the will of Dreyfus, the voice of the gear. Day 18. By Karis, Beta Profundis progresses smoothly despite such frivolities, and the glorious Omega and Alpha project are launched. The new banners have been delivered. The fabric is remarkable. Karis alone could have imagined this alliance of metals and fibers. Thanks be to Dreyfus' preparation. Any that dare to attack the symbol of the Master Builder shall witness the manifestation of his might. This shall resist even the trickster's flames. The state of our friend Namez seems to worsen, and the manor shall need more extensive repair than we hath planned. I wish only that he dared not speak of what he saw in the cave. Day 22. I canst not aspire to waste time on writing. My only words are devoted to you, Master Builder. Give us the strength to conquer and deserve thy pride. Alright. So we got to pick the lock on this. But again, we can't do that when the mechanists are too close.
Soft. It was a noise.
Because it's only when he's close to the window. When he's stationed at either end of his patrol, he's not alerting, it seems. Right, so that's the mechanist door. So we got that checked off in our list of objectives. Great. Doing good. That was not an alert. Alright. So... Okay. Now we've actually snuck through and are in a shed right by Namez's quarters. I'm going to make another real save because we haven't gotten a single bust here, which is great so far. So we've now entered the ventilation shaft right here. We snuck our way back and forth here a little bit, and then we have come out right about here. So this is the door that I'm looking at is right here now. This is going to be our first bust. We have to pick the lock on this door, and the two civilians on the outside will alert. Now, sometimes the guy alerts the second level hunt mode, which I don't understand why, just from picking on the lock. So we have to avoid that.
Huh? Is that thee?
Okay, so only the woman alerted. That's good. It's only one first alert at least. Alright, so we got a bust there. You can see the guy that I was worried about seeing me earlier. He usually alerts, I don't know why he didn't. That's good that he didn't. But the woman did. And unfortunately we have to use a water arrow here to douse the torch, otherwise they will see us. At least I think. Let's see if we can...
Oil thy battle cogs, friend.
Yeah.
For a thief troubles us.
There's no way we can do that without. Let me try a little bit.
Who art thou? I spy thee well. Oil thy battle cogs.
Yeah, there's no way, because there's another torch. We have to actually douse both of those. Which is why I brought the 2 water arrows.
Come into the light so that I might see thee.
So now the mechanist alerted. I don't want that, so I'm going to wait for him to pass. So yeah, using a water arrow to douse torches is not allowed for Supreme, so this will be another bust for that mode. But we're aiming for Perfect Thief too, so that is still not busted at all. Good.
What was that?
Stop!
So he sees me leaving the door. See if I can avoid that. Oh, now he saw me. I don't like the fact that he doesn't give first alerts, it seems. It's almost as if he is alerted. Okay. See if I can go a little faster. Sometimes speed is the case here. Yeah, there we go. Under here is a key. The keys in this mission is very difficult to find. This is Lord Namez's quarters key that we will need. And we also have to douse the other torch here. There we go. That we have to do in order to cross this little plaza. Which we will do right now. So those are, we got actually 3 busts to Supreme there. 1 alert and 2 douses, or 2 douse torches. Okay. So now we're in 11A, Lord Namez quarters. There's his mansion on this side. And there we can't get to yet. Alright. His quarters are actually upstairs, but we're gonna head in here first. This is the kitchen. There are quite a few pieces of loot in there. Unfortunately, if we open this door, this woman will alert. So we have to skip this room for Supreme. Because even though I have busted, I don't want to have any more alerts. So now we're in the bedroom. Servants' quarters. Let's read this. You note that the date and part of the text has been crossed out. I fear for the Master's health. Since the fire, he has behaved strangely. Of course, he has this burn on his arm, but still I find him odd. According to the City Watch, it was an accident, but for him to be affected like this, it may as well have been criminal. Lady Namez seems to be preoccupied by him. There may be things I don't know, too. Lord Namez is not a type to confide in anybody. The problem is, Rourke and I had to move our beds behind the kitchen. Drenadine could have settled with Lady Namez, but the poor girl was moved to the junk room instead. I hope the construction on the manor will be over soon. Then we'll be able to move back to our own quarters. Still no news from Francine, and the mechanists are healing Prank. It's strange, the Master is fond of this rare statuette, and when tidying up the undamaged part of the art collection, no one could find it. It's hard to believe the Master let it burn. He practically slept on it, always had it close to him and all. The mechanists have come to see the scale of damage. Apparently we controlled the flames in time, as the manor structure is untouched. We'll hurry to clean and tidy, so we can get our rooms back. They didn't find Francine's body, so she can't be dead, but who knows where she's gone. Drenadine burnt her hand. It was bound to happen one day. She's so clumsy, this one. Lady Namez was furious with Mary, as if it was her fault. We're really fed up with his favoritism for the other ninny. If Prank was here, it would be a different story. In addition, the mechanists refuse to speak of him. I don't see why. I no longer understand the master. He nagged at the lady all day. The few times I met him today, he looked like a zombie, even bumped against Rourke as if he hadn't seen him at all. And what a gaze! I don't understand. Grenadine brought down the books the master no longer wants. Rourke doesn't know how to read, and I no longer have the time. So what are we going to do with all these? Today I believe my last hour has come. I was searching the manor with a mechanist, and an enormous beam nearly fell on my head. The manor has to be closed again, because it looks like there's more damage. 3 days now, and the master still don't eat. Lady Namez no longer wants anything to do with him. It's not joyful here. Rourke's working in the back courtyard again, to make a garden for the lady. Must be mad, too. I can't believe it. The master has laid tile up there. Instead of putting money into the whole manor, it seems he wants to set him up nicely in our quarters. Rourke's bedroom has turned into a library. Plus, the master has arranged the girls' rooms for Lady Namez. She will never accept to live among servants, though. We can also forget Prank. His bedroom became a bathroom. We had real rooms and all, our friends here jealous and such, and now we'll have to sleep in the kitchen or in the broom closets like them. He set up an art gallery, too, so he's got a nice place to welcome the other nobles. Strange. When he speaks, he really sounds like a Hammerite. And he asked Marie to serve him a lunch big enough for 5 persons, but he's broken all ties with everybody in the quarter. Who he'll see, what's going on here, I wonder. 2 whole pages have been torn out. That's enough. The master took it out on my diary. I found him tearing 2 sheets out, plus he modified some of it. He then tried to set fire on the library. We managed to put it out, but that part of the manor is closed off once again. I'm sure now it's him who set fire on the manor. The madman's locked himself up in his apartments. In the bathroom, actually. Through the pipes we can hear him muttering about some hymn and reciting all these Hammerite sermons. I've gone to the mechanists. I'm writing this in case something happens to me. Rourke has disappeared, like Francine and Prank, and Lady Namez locked Grenadine and herself in her room out of fear. I can't let him get close to Marie. Okay. Now in these quarters, we have a well-hidden purse behind one of the beds, worth 100, total 1988. And even though we can't get into the kitchen, we can still take a couple of pieces of loot. And that reaches the loot goal of 2,000. 3 goblets, worth 15 each, total 2033. And then there is a bottle of wine that I don't think we can see. There. But you can reach it. Worth 50, total 2083. So there are some more pieces of loot that we're going to have to come back and get for the Perfect Thief when we finish the run for that. But we can head up into the upstairs quarters. This door is open, note that. And in this room we have a mask, worth 50, total 2133. We have 2 statues, worth 30, total 2163. We have a plate over here, worth 10, total 2173. And in this room we have a vase, worth 50, total 2223. Let's see, this is the bathroom, I think, so let's head into the library. In here we have 2 candlesticks, worth 50 each, total 2323. And I'm also going to block this door, which means that we can close it later and it will remain locked, because we're going to have to return the library key. A little bit later. In here are 2 notes. The master gave us keys for the manor rooms and his apartments, as he said. I hardly recognize him. He looks like another person since the fire. It was a game for him. It doesn't look easy, he says to us. That's how he speaks now. Marie is afraid of him, and apparently the lady is too. I'm going to talk to the mechanist about him. As soon as we can, Marie and I are going to leave these fools, even if it means working in the country again. Right, and there's another one over here. Crazy. Rourke told me he found the master in the manor searching furiously for something in the dust. Rourke was at the well, and then he saw that the door was open. Lord Namez was in there, saying strange things. He won't find it. Where to put it? He commands me. Plus, Rourke saw his burn mark smoking, and then it started glowing. He's turned mad as well. Supposedly the master scared him. Started staring him down with silent, blank eyes. Rourke still has goose flesh about it. I don't know if it's connected, but the master was violent this evening. From the noise he was making, he must have been knocking furniture over. Tomorrow we'll all have to clean up for sure. What I don't understand is what he was doing in the manor. He wants to die, crushed by a beam, or what? So these are then the 2 pages that Lord Namez ripped out of the diary downstairs. Now in here as well is the tower key that we are going to need. And we're going to have to return this key as well. That's why I'm leaving that door open. Alright, let's head in here.
Hey, I know who this guy is.
And here's a plate in the bedroom, worth 10, total 23.33. There's a goblet worth 15. And then there are 2 gold coin stacks in the corner, worth 25 each, so total 23.98. And there's another book under the bed. That's it. He came to see me. Came back. Yes, he, she, it. Again, always in my head. I know now, I understand now, I see now, yes, I'm one. Nothing, them, me, part, totality, insane. Conscious, lucid reason, yes, Hammerites, pagans, mechanists, illusion, all illusion, blind and fool. Precursors? Certain, maybe. No, yes, they can't exist even though they exist. You, yes you, who read me, I know it. Will know it, knew it, tomorrow, yesterday, whatsoever. He talked to me about you all. Shadow of shadow, friend of stranger, and stranger of the inexpressible, of silence. Do you exist? We've already met before, and yet no. In other places, other contexts, other times, other bodies. He had predicted. He has projects for you, big ones, key or pawn. Even I can't guess. Slave of freedom. Ah, I must write these words, exercise of obvious fact. He knows that he'll understand, but shall you see? The first belongs to the vine, leaf, and woodsea, and unlock the metal, yes. The twice is liquid, flow stagnant, access knowledge. The third is ash from past. Past for the sky, yes. Second to last is the number from infinite and goes to the place. Ah, and that one in that place leads to the place. You'll find he'll judge, yes. Go now, I become one with many. Finished. Don't forget, no. Okay. Very cryptic, to say the least. Okay. So now we gotta head to the tower. So now we can go into this area and we can access the tower.
I'm a vapor in the builder's steam. Life into the world, and its vastness is unreachable. Praise be to him.
Halfway up is an artifact worth 20, total 24.18. And all the way up at the top we have another pair of glasses worth 50, total 24.68. And we have a key in the corner here. Namez mansion key. There's nothing else of interest. So let's head back down. Gonna leave this door open too, because we're gonna have to return the key in not too long. So Namez's mansion is right over here. So now we can access that. Sort of a little bit of a key hunt here to get to the necessary areas. Okay. On here and in this little water trough are 2 water arrows. There. In here I think we're safe. I don't think anyone can hear anything. So in this first room you can find the cellar key under this little wooden board. Now something's going to happen once we take it, so just be prepared.
This is the right key.
There.
You gotta be kidding me.
Okay, so we're now experiencing supposedly what, or similar to what Namez experienced that drove him crazy, or part of it. So we're being transported into this cage, and there is eventually going to be a zombie that's coming straight ahead across the other side of that fence. And as long as we're crouched and in this corner, he shouldn't see us. He's still going to end up coming into this cage, but we should be able to avoid his view. Hopefully. He's going to come in through the right gate. Here he comes. He's going to walk to the left. And hopefully we can dodge him when he does so. Okay, so let's be ready. Good. Don't know if you guys can hear me, but you can actually follow him when that gate opens and go all the way back to the back wall in there. There's nothing there, but it's cool to do if you are able to. There we go.
What was that?
Okay, so the reason why we were able to dodge him is, one, you can hide in the far back right corner without him seeing you, and when he enters the cage he always turns to his right, or at least in most of the cases I've encountered him, he always turns to the right, so as long as we're on his left hand side he won't catch us coming in and leaving. Okay, so now we have the cellar key. We cannot drop that back, so we don't have to return that key. And I'm gonna shoot a rope arrow all the way up here. Okay, maybe we can just jump all the way up there then. There we go. Okay. So here we have another trunk that we can pick. And in here we should have one of our objectives. And yeah, we've also gotten this checked off. We found the root of his madness. So 2 objectives checked off here now in a matter of a minute. There we go. Namez, a statue. Yeah, there we go. Steal a statuette. Checked off. Good. Grab the rope, and I think we can drop down here without taking damage if we drop like that. No, not like that. We should land on the middle beam there. Or like that. Okay, at the end here is an exit to one of the alleys that I told you was locked earlier. So we're in this little area right now. I am going to open that door. But I am going to... wait a minute. I'm gonna actually return all these keys right now, except for the cellar key. Library key we can't return here. Tower key, mansion key, quarters key I will return. So that means we have to block this door. That we can close. And we're gonna have to block this door too. I don't think there's anything else up here. No, there's not. Okay. There. That should work. Yeah, I want to go back and return all the keys now. I think so. I think that's the smartest thing to do. We don't have too much left for Supreme. Actually. See a lock block both of those doors, right? Yes. So that means I can return the mansion key, which I found up here. Turn that to this corner. There we go. Nobody heard that. And that was not closable. And this locks with the tower key. Now, usually when I lock this door, I get an alert from the people outside again.
Lend an ear, friend.
Yeah.
Listen with me a while.
And then now that guy got alerted to second level.
Is all right there, friend?
Help! And again. So we just have to do this until we don't get a second alert, because that's even a bust to Supreme. No, to regular Ghost.
Shh! I'm trying to hear that noise.
This is not good.
Is all right there, friend?
Help! Help! Wow, that guy is extremely jumpy.
Listen a while.
Help! Help! Well...
Hello? Reveal thyself.
There, I think we got it there, didn't we? Yeah, he didn't even first alert. Good, so we just got one first alert from her, but we can't really prevent that. And now we have to go upstairs, and we have to return the tower key to the library.
Is that you, Kevin?
I'm getting a little impatient, but... Now the tower key we can't return to the back corner because the mechanist downstairs always hears it. I've tried in every possible manner to place this back in the corner. The only way we can place it in this room, I've found, is to place it on top of one of these scrolls. Like that. So at least then we placed it in this room. It's still a small bust of Supreme because you should return it to where you found it. But anyway, that's the only way we can do it. And then we can close this door. It'll be locked. I didn't need to block that door because I still have the library key. But now I have the cellar key I can't return. Namez's quarters key we can return once we come back down here. And the library key I will return. The 2 doors to the mansion is blocked, so we will be able to lock those even though we don't have the key. There we go. We still have to go back into this building right here. So that was the settling remark from the door. So it takes a long time for any enemy to settle from doors opening and from torches dousing.
In truth, I know not what it was.
I don't know why that is. Lockpicks as well. Lockpicks, doors opening or closing, water splashing, anything like that. They take usually a minute or 2 to settle from, which is strange. It's a little bit annoying. So this one we can return there. Good. We're going to come back through this building. And then I'm going to close those doors so that they remain locked. So now we're back here. Now we can finally enter this door. This is the sewer watchman's apartment. So now we have taken the alternate route back. We've left the doors open so we can return this way, which is good. And we went through here, and now we're at the sewer watchman's cabin. So we just have to take a couple of pieces of loot here, and we have to return the library key, and then we are pretty much done for Supreme. Go. The other door in here is also pickable, but we don't need to pick that, and I try to avoid lock-picking doors if I don't have to. In here you can find a loaf of bread and a cheese and a stack of gold coins worth 25, total 24.93. Let's see. We have a few more things in here that we're going to do. First of all, we can go up here. In this footlocker you can find a mine. Then we have a diary to read. I never signed for that. Since when a watchman has to splash in the stagnating waters of the canal? It was Gred that had to do it, but he got ill or something, my arse. Heard that the sewer worker went mad. By dragging along the whole day and that stuff out there, it would drive anyone insane. He might have seen a beast or something. I'm sure it was one of these last spiders of Rocksbourg, and he got scared because he didn't expect to meet one. Montes think it's a pagan creature. Yeah, right. It's been a taffin long time since they deserted the city. Now he's holed by the mechanists, and I must settle in that goddamn cabin. And there's a guy what got robbed out last night. All access to the quarters were locked, but seems Lieutenant doesn't give a dang about it. There's nothing new since last watch, except that I have to patrol by night in that stinking mud. Tomorrow I'll yell for a little bonus or something. I'm sick of it. Okay. Okay, we can go back down here. Now there's a pretty tough secret to find in here, because it seems like we've covered all of the cabin right now. But up here is a little ledge that we need to rope up to. And we can pick the lock on this one. There's a purse worth 100, total 25.93, and that's the last secret. On the rope. And now we're back here, so we have to return the library key. I'm gonna make a real save here. And we gotta jump down the same way we did before. We gotta make sure that we dodge the lantern guy and then drop the library key into the water. Dropping keys into water is very tricky, because okay, he's just leaving. That's great. Because you can't drop it from too much of a height. There we go. That's perfect. Got it on the first try. It's excellent. Okay, now getting back there can be tricky as well. I might actually have been able to mantle up the archway there. Maybe I should have tried that.
Hey, notice that?
Okay, I can do that. That'll probably be easier than trying to go the other way, which I usually do. Huh. Again, a move that probably isn't possible in Old Dark. I don't know, because slanted areas are very difficult to... Okay, what is this?
What was that?
If I had made that mantle right away here... There we go.
Odd noise.
Oh.
Who's there?
This would be a cushier job in private cartoon. Shows what I know. Sheriff's just as bad as those blue bloody nobles.
Okay, I think we're safe here, so we should be good actually.
Who napping on
Yep.
duty, short locking patrol.
Okay, now I'm gonna actually make a real save right here, and I'm gonna call it regular ghost, because that's the save game we have to go back to afterwards. But for Supreme, I'm just gonna go ahead and head back right now. Go. Let's see. Just want to make sure. Yep, that's all we need. So we got to close this door now, and it'll be locked. That door will be locked. That door will be locked.
What's that over there?
Okay, so we gotta fool that guy again.
Thought I saw something. Is someone there?
Again, we might need to go for speed here, because I usually get an alert going back in. Or sometimes that guy doesn't alert at all, so I don't really know.
What's that over there?
Make haste when thou can, that thou shalt prosper o'er them that slow. Make numbers when thou willst, that thou shalt prosper
Okay,
o'er them.
he's good. Although I've done it before without getting an alert from him. I don't really know what.
I am recog my builder's gear. He hath concealed.
What was that?
So she hears me as well going across the.
Make haste. Lend an ear, friend.
Oh, there he actually didn't give an alert. I'm gonna try to avoid this alert then.
Is all right?
Okay, there we go. Huh. Yeah, no, he didn't give an alert at all. I guess that's good.
Listen a while.
Okay.
Come into the light. Is that thou, friend?
Huh.
Come into the light.
Into position.
A and B unto B, such that complete is thy seal. To carry your true that blocketh you dust.
Right, and we can drop back here. And then we just have to make it back to the cellar. I don't know if he actually saw me because there's something wrong with the sound propagating. So here, nobody saw me here for sure.
Taking a break.
Okay, so now this door is open, even though we didn't unlock it. And we checked off another objective to access the cellar. And then we just have to pick up 3 more pieces of loot, these 3 statues. Worth 15 each, so 45 total. And grand total of 2,638 loot. That is all the loot possible for Supreme. If you follow the rules and skip the loot that you can't get within those rules. And there we have it. That should be it for Supreme. Yep. Okay. Sounds good. Total time 1 hour, 11 minutes, and 34 seconds. Found 2638 loot out of 3068. The skipped loot I won't go through because I'm going to reload and actually take all of that loot for Perfect Thief. So if you want to figure out what loot that was, then you can hang around and just watch the rest of the video. Pockets picked 3 out of 10. And I believe that all that we picked were purses. I think it was 3 purses. There's quite a bit of other loot out there, but we're going to take a little bit of that when I reload. Locks picked 14. I'm not going to go through all those, but all those were necessary to either complete objectives or take loot. I don't like to pick locks that I don't have to pick for Supreme, so therefore I didn't do it. Backstab 0, knockouts 0, damage dealt 0, damage taken 0, healing taken 0, innocents killed none, and others killed 0. Iron Beast destroyed 0, disabled 0. Now, as far as the secrets go, we found one secret. We found in the sewer watchman's the money box with loot. And there was one more secret that we took that I can't remember off the top of my head, but let me see if I can find it here in my notes. No, well, it doesn't really matter. We took 2 secrets out of 4. Campaign total, time so far, 1 hour, 11 minutes, 34 seconds, and loot so far, 2638. Total damage dealt, 0, and received 0. This isn't really a campaign because we're not going to continue to the next mission, so that doesn't really matter. We took a couple of busts for Supreme, though. First of all, we got a first alert in Namez's courtyard from the woman there when picking the lock coming from the ventilation shaft. That was the first Supreme bust. Then we had to douse the 2 torches using 2 water arrows in the same courtyard. Taking the water arrows is not a bust if they're necessary, but using them is a bust. We also got a first alert from the woman when closing the tower door or locking it, and we also couldn't return the tower key to the exact location. We had to return that to one of the papers in that room in order not to get an alert from the mechanist below. But those were all the busts, so I guess total 5 busts for Supreme, which is pretty good. This is a difficult mission. So I hope you enjoyed that, and like I said before, we are now going to reload and finish the mission so that we can get Perfect Thief. So if you want to hang around for that, you're more than welcome to. If not, have a good night, and let's go ahead and reload to that save game. So now, we don't really have to worry about first alerts, but I'm still going to minimize those. So I don't want to get first alerts that I don't have to. So we're going to first go ahead and take the purse off the bum in the street over there. And to be able to cross the courtyard, we have to go this way. Let's go over here. Sneak over here, right? Make sure that you keep that torch right behind the pillar. Okay, I should have saved there. We can actually get into that alley without a single first alert, which is what I'm going to do. Just got to make sure that we stay hidden here. Like I said before, we can't take the purse without a first alert, but we can get very far without getting one. Okay. Now.
Who's over there?
So we can do this without a first alert.
No, no, who's there? What's that? Who's over there?
So that guy sees me too. So I'm not gonna bother. I'm gonna wait for him to get out then. We can get on top of that wagon and into that little doorway. Then we can use a rope arrow in the ceiling to get away from this guy's sight.
What do I see?
I've done this before. Oh, that was wrong.
Who's there?
There we go. Perfect. There we have it.
Nothing now.
Oh, he saw me on this side. Okay. It's just a matter of being a little lucky there. There. Gonna save again there.
What do I see?
It's just a little leap on top of that wagon. Without him seeing me. That's the point here. Okay, come on, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this. I want to go back so that I can get a little running. Yeah, good, now I'm crouching too, so I got this. There, okay, perfect. Perfect. There we are. Now I'm gonna have to get around this corner, but the minute I go out here, I'm gonna be visible to that guy. So I have to sort of elevate myself with a rope arrow to be able to get over the arch of this little wall. Again, I'm gonna have to wait for this guy to come back out. There. Do this. That was a terrible jump. It was a good shot, but it was... I think I have to have that rope arrow a little bit closer, actually. Right there.
None for them be recognized.
Okay, maybe even a little bit closer, actually.
What did I see there?
Okay, that is the way to do it, but I think maybe it should be a little bit there.
I can't get a simple mug of coffee. Who's there? Hello?
Okay, we should be able to... There, that looks good. There, I think that's good.
Oh! Someone there?
So a little bit further down. Like there, maybe? There we go. Perfect. Now this guy we can't fool. There's no way.
Who does that?
So I'm gonna get a first load. I'm gonna accept that,
It was nothing.
and then take his purse. 26.93. Now, to get back out, we can't get back out that way without getting a first alert. There's just no way. So I'm going to have to go the route that I took earlier. So I'm going to get another first alert from this guy.
What's that over there?
Yeah. We have to take two from him.
There now.
And then we're going to get back up here. And then try to get back to the streets. So we have to wait for this archer to face east. Oops.
Get the guy now.
We got problems.
So that was right in the patrol of that guard. That's not good, so I'm going to have to wait a little bit here. We're still going to take a first alert when we drop down to the streets from Flint, the guard by the gate over there, but that is inevitable, again. So I guess we're going to end up taking 3 first alerts from getting that loot.
What's that?
The Baron gets to eat cows.
Can't believe the damn coffee.
He shouldn't give a first alert when we drop.
I don't like the look.
Usually doesn't give any first alerts there. At least I don't think. I think we can avoid that one.
I don't like the looks.
Maybe if we...
Can't the guy nap?
We might need to take an extra one then. Don't like that, but...
Look, seeing that.
Why can't that guy ever just stay facing east? Yeah, so we're gonna have to take a first alert from him. Right there. Okay, so then I guess we'll get a total of 4 first alerts.
You know, I don't think it's true at all what they said. Probably never was true. I just believed him like a taffy. They're probably laughing at me now. I'm like that. Not true at all. I don't like the looks of that.
Okay, so again he has to stay. So the reason why I didn't get a first alert when I went onto the wagon there, or ran in behind the pillar, is because there's a little delay in the light gem. There's a slight delay in the light gem, but when you go the other way, you go from... There we go. So we did get another first alert from him, like I said. So we took 2 from the bum going in, and 2 from Flint leaving. Let's see. Now we can go back. And on the way, I'm gonna take this rope arrow right here, because I'm gonna need that to get the last piece of loot. So now again we can lock these doors and have they stay locked. Okay. 2693, that's how much we should have. So now we can go take the rest of the loot in the kitchen that we couldn't take for Supreme. They're going to be a little bit tricky to take.
What's that?
So there's the first alert. There's no way we can avoid that, of course, because we have to open the door to get in here. We can take a goblet, worth 15, total 2708. In here is also a deer leg, 2 cheeses, 5 apples, a sausage, a loaf, 1 carrot, and 2 cucumbers. They're found spread around this room. Now we're going to go over to the sink. You can actually go through the barrel here. It's very important because we don't want to nudge this girl here. That's only last resort. Okay. 1, 2. They were worth 50 each, so that's a total of 2808. There. Now for the last piece of loot, the plate on the wall there. The best way I've found to do that without getting a second level alert from her is actually mantle up here.
But for a moment, I thought I saw.
We're going to get a first alert from her, that's a given. Then we have to inch our way and get it. Total, that's worth 10, I think. 28, 18. She's gonna settle.
Karis,
Yeah.
I swear I thought there was something amiss.
She settled back down. Good. Okay, so we got a first alert from her and from the other girl, but that's pretty good considering how difficult those were. Just checking that door is locked. Yes, good. Okay. Still have a few more pieces of loot to take. We're of course going to have to take the statues in the final cellar again, but there are... So that was the settling remark from the door opening. You see there how long it takes? Okay. Let's see what we can do here now. Good. Still no first alert from that guy.
Boy, there's strange noises everywhere.
Okay, so he probably settled from something that he... I don't know what that even was. It doesn't matter. We've gotten so many alerts from those guys anyway. That alert we don't want. I'm still not going to throw caution to the wind though and just alert here and there, or everywhere. I want to still keep it as supreme as I can, even though... Didn't get an alert there, did I? I talked over that. No.
My fingers like cogs on a machine, and there. Someone.
The last piece of loot is going to be extremely difficult to get. It's one that I wasn't able to get last time I ghosted this mission. So I found a method to do it that I hopefully will be able to replicate with you guys here. Yeah, I'm going to be able to do it. I'm not going to give up until I get it. So. So now we're going to go pay a visit to the spiders that you've heard a few times, maybe. So we do get a first alert from them picking the lock on this window. But that is inevitable. Afraid. So that's why we can't enter this room for Supreme. Gotta pick the lock on this as well. There we go, that's a hammer worth 75, total 28.93. Behind it is a statue worth 15. There's another statue right down here. A little careful here because that guy outside can actually see us through the window. Even though the window isn't transparent looking, it actually is transparent. There, it's It's right behind the crate there, so you can take it without seeing it. Oh, and then I got an alert from him. There we go. 15 more, total 29, 23.
Do you think something's there?
So there you saw they could see me. Don't think you can be seen if you stay crouched here. Not sure though. And that I don't like, the fact that that window disappears. It always disappears the second time. Okay, I think that's it. Good. Great, great, great. Okay. Now, we're gonna head back into here. And now we're gonna go for something that is very difficult, like I said. We're gonna go for the last piece of loot. Let me see if I can show it to you before we actually do anything. There we go. Yes. See those two people down there? The guy with his back to us has a purse worth 100. That's the last 100 of the mission. And there's this archer right here. There's the woman talking to him. There's him. There's two more civilians that we can't see on this side of them. And then there's another guard that you can see the helmet on right beyond that torch, below there. So there's a total of 6 people, plus a patrolling guard. Plus the nobleman that comes out on the balcony to the left. So I guess there's a total of 8 people involved in this situation. So what we have to do, we have to first douse the torch that you see here, and that's going to spawn some first alerts. So we can't have the second level alerts.
Can't see a map around here.
Oh. Okay. Hunt mode here is not acceptable.
Strange noises.
Odd noises.
I thought I heard something.
Okay, good. Nobody went to second alert from that, right? No, nobody did. Good, so we're safe now. Okay. So we gotta go back here now. Let me actually instead. I thought I heard something. Sounded like a... Yeah. Wow. Did she actually see me? She did. Wow. Man, let me just check where my last... Okay, so I don't have any real saves. Let me see if I can fix this. I don't think I can, actually. I didn't even think about that, the fact that she was stationed there and looking down here, okay. Ah, I can't click on that. Yeah, I don't think there's anything I can do here. She sees me and it's the second level hunt mode, so I have to reload, I'm afraid. Yeah, there's nothing I can do. I have to reload to this save. Should have saved after that. I didn't. It's my bad. Let me just see. Yeah. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and redo all this, and then I will skip the video, and I'll get back to right after I douse the torch, so that you guys don't have to see it over again. So you'll see us skipping the video right now. Okay, there. I just replayed the last regular Ghost section, and I'm now back to the point right after where I doused the torch. And I'm going to go ahead and make a real save at this point. About 15 minutes worth of playing time. I was able to actually remove one of the alerts from Flint, the guard, over by Robux. And I was also able to remove the alert from the guy in Namez's courtyard. So now I just got to be on the watch for that guard that caught me earlier. She is one of the ones that were involved in the conversation down by the gate. So she starts a patrol where she has a little bit of a halt right on top of this ledge, and she can see down into this alley, which I wasn't even aware of. So just got to back up and see. She's not there now. I'm just gonna gauge to see where she is.
Thought I saw.
Okay, so she's on her way up here. It's actually pretty good. So she's coming up here. She stops here and then she walks or patrols down here, I think, turns around and comes back, and she does this over and over again. We gotta head down here and wait for her in a little doorway that's dark. When she passes this area, we can head in and deal with that purse, which is going to be a little difficult. Okay, so there you heard the settling remarks from the doused torch.
All's quiet now. I shouldn't be here. I should be. You think I'd
should be used to rat noises by now.
So this guy we are going to get settling remarks from, but I don't even care about that. That doesn't even count as a first alert, so we're good. So let's just wait for her to come back now. And then we can head in or down this slope and see if we can plan our moves. When she comes down, I'm going to make another real save. Here she comes. I'm going to save. No, I'm not. There.
Yeah.
Okay, so we get first alerts coming down the slope, and now we have to wait for her to pass us going back, and then we have to sort of get to it. So I have to run or scoot down to the left beside that corner without getting caught to hunt mode. So I have to be fast.
Hey, you around here? It was nothing, I guess.
Like that.
Hello? Okay.
Okay, so I have to do that
Thought I saw something.
and then wait a little bit for that woman. It's the woman in white on the left here that catches us. So I have to wait until she settles down a little bit more. She is actually in a constant first alert state right now, so she will never settle. But she will sort of settle down in that first alert state.
Someone there.
Okay, he catches me. Alright, that is not good. Then we are simply going to have to wait until the next round for her to come. Because we're not going to be able to do this any faster than what I did it just now. I haven't seen that happen before. It's just a matter of timing that nobleman versus this guard. So I'm just going to have to wait. So my plan is to do Rocksbourg 2 next, the sequel to this, and there's also a contest that is going on at the moment, and I know there's quite a few entries to that, and I like contests, and I like the fact that many missions are released at the same time, and sort of compared based on the same criteria. So I would like to go through those as well and make videos of those. Contest missions are usually a little bit shorter as well, so that might be possible to do within a fairly short time frame. But this campaign, looking for the new release of Rocksbourg Origins coming up, and the contest, those are sort of the two that I have in mind right now. Keep in mind that, you know, I'm a busy guy, I'm a family man, and have a full-time job, so I'm kind of doing this on my spare time.
Cat's strange. Could have sworn something was there.
Short walking patrol.
Alright, so let's see if... I was hoping that nobleman would come right now. Let's see here. Okay, let's try this.
Hello? What's that? Someone over there?
I saw something. It's quiet now.
See, we gotta give her a good, say, 15-20 seconds probably, at least. Let's see if we can do this. We should be able to scoot forward a tiny bit and then lean in to get his purse. There we go.
Nothing, I guess. Oh, well.
Guess it's nothing now.
Excellent. There we are. That was worth 100 loot, total 3,023. And then we only have the 3 statues left in the cellar. And then we've got Perfect Thief. I'm happy this went fairly smoothly at least. There's the nobleman. Okay, good.
Sheriff's just as bad as those blue bloody noodles.
I shouldn't even be here. I should be in a game or something.
Save, scoot out. Okay, great. Now, of course, we got a whole slew of first alerts down there, but what can I say? Those are not even remotely possible to avoid, so I'm not even gonna think anymore about that. There we are. So those were worth 45, and that's max loot 3068. Alright, so the stats for Perfect Thief then is total time 1 hour, 27 minutes, 22 seconds, found 3068 loot out of 3068. Pockets picked 5 out of 10, locks picked 16. Backstab 0, knockout 0, damage dealt 0, damage taken 0, healing taken 0, innocents killed none, and others killed 0. Iron's Beast destroyed 0, disabled 0, secrets found 2 out of 4. That reminds me, I remember now that the last 2 secrets are not existing in the mission. I don't know why it says 2 out of 4, but it's really 2 out of 2. And those 2 were, first of all, the money box that we found in the hidden attic space of the sewer watchman's cabin, and it was a necklace in a jewelry box in the alley outside of Namez courtyard that we had to pick a lock to. It was inside a barrel. So those are the only 2 secrets in the mission. For regular Ghost then, we were able to take some piece of loot that we were not able to do for Supreme, and that was a purse in the bum in the alley outside the workshop of Roebuck in the far northeast. That was worth 100. He gave us 2 first alerts as we went in there, and then Flint gave us 2 first alerts when we left via the balcony. We also had to skip a goblet, 2 plates, 2 golden plates and a regular plate in the kitchen of Namez quarters for Supreme. Those we could take for regular Ghost. But we had to take another first alert from the servant lady in there and from the mechanist lady. So 2 more first alerts. And then we also took a first alert from the guy in the alley when we re-entered the ventilation shafts. Then we also skipped a hammer and 2 small statues in Pinwheel's basement where the 2 spiders were. We skipped those for Supreme because the spiders alerted to us picking the lock on the window and on picking the toolbox inside the basement. Either of those are busts, so... but we could take him for Perfect Thief, of course. And lastly, we skipped the purse on Randolph, the civilian, by the southwest gate. We took a whole slew, I don't even know how many, probably 10, 12 first alerts going down there. But we took it. So this is a successful a successful Perfect Thief, and an unsuccessful Supreme then. So there you have it. I really hope you enjoyed this. I did a lot, and I'm really looking forward to the next mission, Rocksbourg 2. And I hope to see you back then for that mission. Hopefully in a couple of weeks, maybe a month or so, but we'll see how long this takes. For now, you guys have a good night. Bye-bye.